Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and I've got this article pulled up from The Guardian. This came out yesterday. Well, came out Monday. And it says Trump orders swaths of U.S. forests to be cut down for timber. And it says Donald Trump has ordered that swaths of American forests be felled for timber, evading rules to protect endangered species, while doing so and raising the prospect of chainsaws, raising some of the most ecologically important trees in the U.S. And it's like, why would you want to do that? Because even in Joel 2, it speaks of how the land was as the Garden of Eden before them. It's when the nukes are coming over. But behind them, it's just waste and destruction. Just paraphrasing that. But America actually does have, or Babylon does have beautiful land. And all sorts of regions within this place. And being under such an awful rulership, these Edomites being so destructive, the Edomites being self-proclaimed white men, Donald Trump being one of them, and the Edomites include these small hatters with the big noses that are in the Lord's land claiming to be the Lord's people. They're destructive, and of course they would want to do this, but something else I've been thinking about is that when they make the MOTB mandatory, that digital micro C-HIP that they want to insert into you, that people are going to try to flee. They're going to try to flee from the cities and get into the woods. And if they cut down a lot of the woods, people are going to have fewer places to hide. And the scripts even speak about being pilgrims upon the earth. And the Edomites could be thinking of cutting away some of the hiding places. It says the president, in an executive order, has demanded an expansion in tree cutting across 280 million acres of national forests and other public lands, claiming that heavy-handed federal policies have made America reliant on foreign imports of timber. And when you get into some of these old forests and these old trees, they have been there for a really long time, especially out west where you have the redwoods and the sequoias. And those type of trees fetch a very high price tag. And so if they're thinking of those instead of all the other spaces where you could actually cut down some unneeded trees. You even think about it, I see so many people selling firewood and things like that. This claim seems unjustified. And it just seems crazy. I'm surprised they're doing that. And yes, we're going to get a new heaven and new earth, but I don't like seeing all these trees cut down in the national parks and state parks. Because that's why you go there, to be under the trees, be in nature. But they're trying to cut it all down, and I thought there were actually legalities to doing such a thing, but I guess not. It says it is vital that we reverse these policies and increase domestic timber production to protect our national and economic security, the order adds. And you have people that own a lot of land. Why wouldn't they just go into the timber business themselves? I don't think it has to be, or it should be something private and not linked through the government like this. But this probably comes from timber lobbying groups as well. But ultimately, I do think it's to take away hiding places from people. It says Trump has instructed the U.S. Forest Service and Bureau of Land Management, BLM, to increase logging targets and for officials to circumvent the U.S.'s Endangered Species Act by using unspecified emergency powers to ignore protections placed upon vulnerable creatures' habitats. And so you're going to have even more endangered species. And then on top of that, logging and this timber industry, it's going to create a lot of runoff and pollution in these national parks where people go to fish and hunt. And eventually you might not be able to pull a fish out of the pristine river and actually eat it. Actually clean and eat that fish because you know that industrial waste and pollutants are going into the streams now. This is a terrible idea, and we need Esau to be removed from power. That's why we have to call Yahweh Shai day after day. It says this move is similar to recent instructions by Trump to use a rarely used committee to push through fossil fuel projects, even if they imperil at-risk species. Experts have said this overriding of the Endangered Species Act is probably illegal. The order also stipulates logging projects can be sped up if they are for purported wildfire risk reducing via thinning of vegetation that could ignite. Yeah, go for that. That makes a lot of sense. At the same time, they're setting fires. So some scientists have said that aggressively felling forests, particularly established fire-resistant trees, actually increases the risk of fast-moving fires, and that makes sense. This Trump executive order is the most blatant attempt in American history by a president to hand over federal public lands to the logging industry, said Chad Hansen, wildfire scientist at the John Muir Project. What's worse, the executive order is built on a lie, as Trump falsely claims that more logging will curb wildfires and protect communities, while the overwhelming weight of evidence shows exactly the opposite, in which they should be trying to get rid of brush around power lines and things like that so that doesn't catch fire. But these established trees, no. This is Hansen said logging alters microclimate of forests, creating hotter and drier conditions that help wildfires, such as the events that recently ravaged Los Angeles, to spread faster. Trump's exact approach, logging in remote forests and telling communities that it will stop fires, is responsible for numerous towns being destroyed by fires in recent years and hundreds of lives lost, he said. And so, actually, we'll read this last paragraph. Environmental groups decreed Trump's latest attempt Trump's latest attempt to circumvent endangered species laws that shield about 400 species in national forests, including grizzly bears, spotted owls, and wild salmon, and warned an increase in logging could pollute the water supply relied upon by millions of Americans. And yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. This is going to lead to pollution. It's going to lead to fewer state parks and national parks, and places where you could go and actually get away from the city. This is a terrible idea, and I think the devil is up to something. He's got a deeper agenda than just trying to help the timber industry. I really do think they're trying to thin out the forest so people won't just be able to go hide up in there. And then their drones wouldn't be able to see them, because this devil wants total and complete control over humanity. So, yeah, this is what they're doing. Let's get some scripture real quick. Isaiah 14:7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. And this is once the wicked rulership of the Edomites is ended. The whole earth is going to rejoice at this. Everyone's going to celebrate that the Edomites are gone, that the wicked witch is dead, that the villain is taken out. And especially at Obadiah 1:18, when their seed is completely taken off the earth. There's going to be a party about that, because these people, they don't know how to manage the earth. All they do is steal, kill, and destroy. They're driven by greed, and they leave behind a trail of destruction. So it's going to be a blessing to be from under their rulership, and Lord willing, it soon. It says, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. So even the trees are going to rejoice. It says the whole creation waiteth for the revealing of the sons of God. Paraphrasing. But these devils do what's called deforestation, and they keep taking down and destroying more and more of the trees within the earth, which the trees are needed for the air cycle. We breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon monoxide, while the trees breathe in carbon monoxide and give us oxygen. That cycle's needed for the earth, for life upon the earth. And they're getting rid of some of our good air, and then at the same time they're polluting the air with their chemtrails and all that stuff. These are terrible, destructive people. It says, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller, which a feller is someone who chops down trees, no feller is come up against us. And so the earth is actually going to be able to breathe, to live, to actually to increase once these Edomites are taken out of power. It's Revelation 11 and verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints. The prophets and the saints were Israelites. The Israelites are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And them that fear thy name, small and great. And these are all Israelites. Those are the only people that can achieve salvation, is if you come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through your father's lineage. These are the ones that are truly going to rejoice at the salvation the Lord's going to bring, because those are the only ones that could be saved. But here's the point. And them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And the Edomites, that's what they do. They're as death. They destroy everything. Everything that was good that the Lord made, said it was Tawab. This devil comes behind and either alters it or destroys it, in which that is the reason this whole earth is out of course, because they've transgressed the laws, broken the covenant, and everything the Lord, and so the earth is completely upside down. They've destroyed that, just the basic foundations of the earth, the basic ways of life. They're like, nah, the laws are done away with, and they do whatever they want as long as they're at the top. But the Lord is going to destroy them for this blatant destruction of the earth. We have plastic islands out in the Pacific, and it's all because of Esau. But it's all coming to an end, and soon. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.